Howdy there, folks. Howdy? Really? Welcome to a very special episode of Due to Circumstances FM. Today on the show, we have an up-and-coming, fresh, new indie artist, Lady ShBoom. So yeah, we're going to be chatting to Lady ShBoom about her upcoming album and her latest single, and just generally having a bit of a chat. But before that, I'm going to play this musical masterpiece from Lady ShBoom herself. This is In the Woods by Lady ShBoom. Enjoy.
I don't want to be alone in the forest anymore. I've been waiting so long, so long. I'm in a seminar, in a seminar. I'm falling asleep, dying. I'm falling asleep, I'm dying, falling. I've been waiting so long, so long to write this song. Listen to this song. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Every time I hear that track, I just get so excited, that this newcomer has just come along and she's really shaking up the music scene. So I know that there's probably a few listeners out there that are completely new to Lady ShBoom and her music. So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about you?
Well, I don't believe in talking about my past. I live in a little chateau just off the east coast of London. I live there with myself, just by myself.
I totally get not talking about your past. I think people are oftentimes just too kind of defined by their past.
No, I just don't remember much of it.
But yeah, London, I hear that is like the musical scene there is just, it's quite hip and incredible.
I don't really like to mix with other musicians. They're very similar to leeches, just blood-sucking leeches. So I don't like to mix with any other musicians.
All right, so let's talk about the track, In the Woods. Let me just say, I flippin' love it. I think it's incredible. I listen to it all the time when I'm working out, and it really gets me pumped. I hear a lot of people saying that it's really metaphorical, and they really get it on a really metaphorical level. So, what was your inspiration for the song?
Well, the first verse is based loosely on a time when I was in the forest, and I was alone, and I didn't want to be alone in the forest anymore, and it just felt like I'd been there so long. I wrote the second verse a little while after, while I was in a seminar, and I just felt so tired. Do you ever feel just so tired that I felt like I was falling asleep? But it was deeper than that. I felt almost like I was dying.
Yeah, no, that kind of like half awake, kind of half asleep, kind of. Yeah, no, I get that. What was the seminar about, though?
I was actually giving the seminar. It was about music distribution and just how disgusting it is.
I'm always just really, really intrigued by different artists, creative process. So what is music making like for you?
I always like to compare it to for me it's much like an Easter egg hunt. It only happens once a year, and I just find the whole process so blasé and so tiring that the only thing that keeps me interested is if I have a lot of chocolate while I'm writing. One year, while I had an hour of songwriting, my yearly hour, I actually incorporated the ingredients of the chocolate bar that I was eating that day.
I love that. That's so awesome. It's like, so you're drawing on inspiration, incorporating all the elements around you into your songs.
No, it was just the chocolate bar.
Sugar, cocoa butter, chocolate, milk, lactose, milk fat, non-fat milk, alloyeth lectin, soya lectin, an emulsifier, coconut sugar.
Yeah, let's talk about your album. This is your first studio album.
It is my first studio album, but I have had other albums in the past that have just only been available on floppy disk. So this is my first album that will be available to those who want it, although music distribution is so disgusting. The album is called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and well, it just goes on like that for quite some time. I think up until 36, the last time I counted. I didn't actually spend too much time on the album itself because I was actually busy writing my autobiography at the time, which focuses on the time that I spent in the woods. Because even though it was only 10 minutes, I felt I came to so many realizations about myself that I had never really considered before. For instance, I found out that I really don't like being alone.
Wow, self-exploration is just one of my favorite things to read about, so I'm really excited for that. So we're gonna take some questions, some questions on Twitter actually. Jessica would like to know if that was actually a real life dog, or were the barks mechanically produced in the studio? That is a great question.
They were mechanically produced, but they were loosely based on my dog's actual bark. And since recording, actually, he's gone missing.
Well, let's just hope he's not alone in the forest.
No, he's allergic to pine needles. He wouldn't go in there.
If you could collaborate with any musical artist, who would it be?
I don't make music with other people. I think it's disgusting. I prefer to be alone.
I'm a non-believer. Wants to know what you do in your spare time when you're not making music. Which today we have found out that that's 364 days.
I actually run a music mentoring program in which I mentor other musicians to really help them not only with their music but also with their spirituality while they're making music, so that it all stays intact and that they really come to know themselves as they're writing music. Spiritually, on a spiritual plane, I think when we all just look deep within ourselves and we take off the filters that we're all looking at ourselves through, we'll see that all we really are just numbers adding up and just counting the seconds until we're dead. It's quite emotionally draining for me to work with the musicians because they are such disgusting blood-sucking leeches. And so after each session, I feel I really need to do a detox for at least 12 to 40 days. So the whole process really is quite draining. Hence why I really only have the energy to write my own music for a couple of hours every year.
That's all the fan questions we have time for. But before we go, Lady ShBoom, I don't know if you're familiar with the show, but every episode is kind of like a date. So between me and my listeners. So now that you're here, you are also on a date with my listeners. So I think they are all dying to know if you are single.
No, I'm actually in an open relationship right now with myself, which basically just means that it's okay for me to date other people, not just myself.
You heard it here first, folks. Lady ShBoom is single, but sort of not.
I don't want to be on the radio anymore.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Don't forget to check out Lady ShBoom's album 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.